What's good, Internet? My name is attackslug, and welcome back to SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 on the PS2. Let's continue trying to go after JBL, shall we? Mr. Rob Van Dam.
Guys!
Hey, Tori.
Tori, what are you doing here?
Listen, I don't have much time. JBL's gonna notice that I'm missing before too long. But I have some good news. I've convinced JBL to put my contract on the line at Vengeance. In an Iron Man match.
That's great.
But there are two catches. The first is that I had to agree that it would be a lifetime contract. If JBL wins, I'm his for the rest of my career.
Don't worry, Tori. That will never happen. What's the second catch?
The superstar who wants to sign the match for Vengeance has to beat Orlando Jordan in a match tonight.
Beat Orlando? No problem. I could take him in my sleep.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! What do you mean you'll take on Orlando?
Just what I said. Dude, you got a problem with that?
Yeah, I do have a problem with that. I can take Orlando myself.
So...
Right on, that's cool. Tell you what, we'll solve your problem the way I used to solve all my problems back in the day. With a hardcore match.
I don't believe it. These guys still can't get on the same page. Now they're going to have a match to decide who gets to take on JBL's Chief of Staff later tonight.
Not just a match, Cole. A hardcore match. This don't look good for Tori.
So, if I had chosen RVD as the tag team partner, would that cutscene have been John Cena instead? Is that how that works? Maybe? Video games? I don't know. Let's go. Who's that jumping out the sky? Welcome to Thursday. We're here for a Thursday thing to discuss what happened on AEW and NXT last night. But first and foremost, a rest in peace to Mr. Wrestling 2 has passed away. And that is before my time. But when the old-timers that I watched say he was one of the old-timers that they watched, respect, man. Respect. So, rest in peace, Mr. Wrestling 2. From back before I was born. So there we go with that. So, let's begin with some NXT discussion as I take on Mr. Rob Van Dam here on a Thursday night, on a SmackDown, on a Thursday, on a YouTube. So, let's do this. Now then, we continued the Undisputed Era Dexter Lumis storyline opened up NXT. Which is like, alright, well, is he going to be the one to eventually challenge Adam Cole? As we'll find out later, no, he is not. We don't think, right? They also had another mixed tag team match between Keith Lee, Mia Yim, Candice, and Johnny. So perhaps you thought it was all over when they had that thing in your house, and it seems like maybe not. They did mixed tag team action again, but later on we find out who wants to challenge Keith Lee next, so it might be done. It might have just been, hey, we're doing this to fill TV time because whatever, because that certainly happens with, hey, we're gonna run a match again just to fill some time on TV because wrestling, right? Because there is so much time to fill each and every week on the show, right? So we got a little bit of Damian Priest and Cameron Grimes backstage. Perhaps a new feud, perhaps not, perhaps just a singular interaction. But Cameron Grimes was trying to get out of his match with Finn Balor, which did not happen. Mr. Regal was not fooled, and that match did go on. Indus Sher had a squash match against some jobbers, so they're going to get reestablished as a dominant tag team. They were supposed to fight Matt Riddle and, Pete Dunne. But then Pete Dunne got stuck in the UK because of coronavirus, so that whole thing fell apart, and now Matt Riddle is on SmackDown, and so you're going to have to reestablish Indus Sher in the tag team division for reasons, right? Now, they had a backstage vignette for Breezango, which is fine because they're challenging for the NXT Tag Team Championships next week on the program. Cool. Right? And it's kind of a, hey, we're going to reestablish who we are, and, you know, it's all fun and games on the outside of the ring. Once we get inside the ring, once that bell rings, you know, it's serious. And how they talked about that when it's like, hey, Fandango's debut was at WrestleMania in front of 80,000 fans, and he won. And if you weren't watching wrestling at that time, and you had just seen this vignette, you would ask yourself, but who did he win against? Because they didn't show his opponent at that WrestleMania. And wouldn't you know it, that was Chris Jericho. So of course, they're not going to show Chris Jericho. But why put that part in your vignette, in your promo thing, if you can't actually show who he beat at WrestleMania in front of 80,000 fans in his debut match in the company? That, man, come on. Like, I get it, but it's also funny and it's also weird. It's just weird, man. It's just absolutely powerbomb. Good God Almighty. Oh, right. It's a hardcore match, RVD. Go get some playthings. Go get that solid steel chair and see what happens when I grapple you. Oh, come on. I hit grapple before you hit that garbage, Mr. RVD. Gotta resort to the oh, the referee goes down, too. No one is safe from Rob Van Dam. I can't get up. Wouldn't you imagine that? Can I punch him? And yes, give me the chair, RVD. Oh, give me the chair, RVD. I want it. I need it. Now, wait, come back. Really? What's he got? He's got a ring bell. Why was it under the ring? It shouldn't be under the ring, but whatever. Let's hit you with this chair. What the hell, referee? Get out of the way. What is your problem? So, besides that, the Robert Stone brand still looking for a new client after Chelsea Green dumped Robert Stone, and he went after Rhea Ripley, and she's like, no. Put him in a trash can, which was hilarious. So, still looking, man. Still very disheveled and looking. RVD, seriously? Barbed wire covered 2x4 from RVD. Get hit with this ring bell, RVD. Oh, busted him open. Can I just drop and pin him from that? 1, 2, 3. Didn't even need the finisher because I busted him open. So yes, Finn Balor beat Cameron Grimes, so he got that, avenged that loss, and then says, you know what? I want that North American Championship. So Keith Lee, you're next for the Prince. Which means the teasing of Balor when he first came back against Cole is not going to happen. At least not yet, anyway.
For a man who just beat Rob Van Dam in a hardcore match, he's looking pretty good.
Yeah, but does he have enough left in the tank to take on Orlando Jordan tonight?
He'll have to. And he'll have to win if he wants to go to Vengeance this Sunday and face JBL in that Iron Man match for Torrie Wilson's lifetime contract.
Lifetime! So there was a Thatcher vignette here with his teeth are all still messed up from that whole thing with Matt Riddle and the fight pit and such. And so I guess he's going to be a fixture here moving forward after ridding NXT of Matt Riddle, etc., etc. Now the Phantasma as your NXT Cruiserweight Champion. That whole thing, right? And having that, and here comes the newly signed NXT superstar in Drake Maverick, which is like, alright, cool, showing his respect, but he wants a shot. He's like, I know I can beat you. And here come the kidnappers. Now, these kidnappers were kidnapped by somebody else, but they reveal themselves to be Mendoza and Wild, which we assumed they would be, and wouldn't you know it, the rumor from when they first debuted Phantasma is that he was going to have a faction with the kidnappers. Sure enough, he is now Santos Escobar is his new gimmick, and they attacked Maverick, and that was the unmasking, unveiling, etc., etc. So, as I've said here time and time again, just because it's predictable doesn't mean it'll be bad. This came off pretty good, and I enjoyed it. So, kudos to all involved there. And the main event, Adam Cole versus Dexter Lumis with the help of Undisputed Era winning that match. And wouldn't you know it, after the match, here is, whoa there, relax, relax, relax. Wouldn't you know it, after the match, here's Scarlett with a hourglass. Tick-tock. So it seems like Adam Cole is on a, good job JBL, Adam Cole is on a collision course with Karrion Kross. So, there we go. Now we know who will be the next contender for that NXT title. Certainly a monster push for Karrion Kross. Now then, on the other side of the evening, AEW, we had our debut match with The Revival versus Butcher and the Blade. No more Bunny, at least not right now. no more Bunny, right? So, obviously, you're going to debut this hotly anticipated tag team. They're going to win that match, and they're going to do it with style and class and flair. Woo! Orlando needs to relax. Seriously, I'm hitting L. This was a setup. This was a freaking setup. That RVD match, and I'm in the orange, and I'm going to lose to Orlando and not go to Vengeance, because this was all a setup. Like, come on now. That ain't cool. Sorry, Tori. What do you want me to do? That was just an absolute mugging. I guess we just move on? Like, I don't ever get to see JBL and Tori again? Look, man, that's just how it goes sometimes. Attackslug versus Michelle McCool on Velocity. I've been downgraded to Velocity. Why am I fighting Michelle McCool? What is happening here? Is there a new story? Why am I having this match against Taker's wife? Like, what? Look, man, I don't know. They didn't give me, like, a new thing saying, hey, there's a new story. So, instead I'm fighting Michelle McCool. Which is really weird, by the way. Like, you're supposed to, I guess, beat Orlando there and go to Vengeance to fight JBL, but I lost because they set me up with that RVD thing anyhow. So, speaking of the Bunny, she is just back to being Allie, and she is with QT there, and they were like, look, QT, get your mind off of that, and get your mind on our tag team match next week against the tag team champions, and I would imagine at some point Allie's going to betray QT here, and we're going to get Butcher, Bunny, and Blade versus the Natural Nightmares is my guess on that, but who knows. I don't understand why you're booking me on Velocity in an intergender contest against Michelle McCool. I'm really kind of baffled by everything happening here in this game. But sometimes you just got to roll with it. Like, I don't know, man. I do not know the wrestling acumen of Michelle McCool. Alright, sure. Anyhow, we had Nyla Rose and Penelope Ford fighting against Statlander and Cheetah, and wouldn't you know it, the champion got pinned in a tag team match, and so Ford pinned Cheetah, and perhaps that's going to be a thing for Fyter Fest and such. Would not surprise me on that. Darby Allin, who is not medically cleared to compete, was skateboarding with Tony Hawk. And that's okay, sure. Why wouldn't you? If you had the opportunity to skate with the Birdman, then of course you would. Like, that's just, common sense. And would you stop Michelle McCool just mixing up the grapples and just totally confusing me with the punches and the reversals, and this is the wife of the best pure striker in the game. Okay, what else we got here? There was a 6-man tag team match. The important part, it's not going to work. The important part is that Orange Cassidy got the surprise victory, and then the Inner Circle beat up Orange Cassidy with a literal 20-pound bag of oranges. They crushed the oranges. They said he got juiced. That's a double entendre, because in wrestling, when you get some color, that's called getting juice. So, and he's Orange Cassidy, juice, and they were oranges, juice. Almost that was almost a triple entendre there. It was ridiculous. Now then, Sammy Guevara beat Colt Cabana, and this continues the story of Colt Cabana perhaps joining the Dark Order. And more importantly, back from their stay in Canada, and they opened the border, I suppose, Evil Uno and Stu Grayson are back. So they managed to get back across the border in this whole pandemic deal to get back to being in the Dark Order. So cool with that. Michelle McCool, not cool. Not cool. Reverse, Mr. Slug. Reverse. Do that thing. Man. No. I'm too heavy, Michelle McCool. It ain't gonna happen. Ha ha ha. Look at that. Look at that maneuver. Into the Boston Crab. Look at that. Man. Didn't even know I had that. And that was awesome. Just roll through into the Boston Crab is some top tier wrestling business. So, Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss are in some kind of a weird vignette thing happening, and I guess they're going to be a tag team now or something. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. With that, Brian Cage threw Jon Moxley into the back window of a car to build towards their match at Fyter Fest. And the main event was Cody defending his TNT Championship against Mark Quinn, who had some amazing moves in that match. Good stuff there, but obviously Cody wins the match. But then a brawl erupts after the match, right? And in the line, there we go. A brawl erupts, and it appears like Jake Hager wants a shot at that TNT title, which is fine, right? But it's not going to be until Fyter Fest, which, as a reminder, is happening on TNT on Dynamite, July the 1st and July the 8th. It is a 2-day event type thing, right? But that begs the question, who is going to be facing Cody next week? Because he said every week, open challenge. So, who's going to fight him next week? They didn't address that. Because the past 2 weeks, they announced who in advance. So, I guess we'll find out on the show on Dynamite next week. No, Michelle McCool. Nah, I'm sorry. We need to hit that salt shaker and avenge my loss to Orlando Jordan. It was a setup, man. It was the numbers game. Got me again, Michelle McCool. Powerbomb! She is just putting in a fight here, as you might expect from the wife of the dead man. Oh, the master lock on Michelle McCool. You tap or you snap. Or you get to the ropes, because that also is a thing you can do. Alright, give me a finisher here. Like, seriously. Yeah. It's sickening the way he does that taunt. Sickening. Nah, Michelle. I don't think so. Stunner on Michelle McCool. Storing the finisher. With a broken freaking neck. Get up. Get up, and get down. Self shaker. 2, a point, a whoa yeah. 1, a 2, a 3. And in 5:34 on Velocity, I'm getting a win. Man, I should have been facing JBL for the rights of Tori Wilson, but no, that all fell apart. So, alright, you move on, and you make the best of it. And that is this channel making the best of it. I don't reload and pretend it never happened and erase that footage. We lose, we accept the loss, and we keep on trucking here on the channel. I'm attackslug. See you next time, right here, and I'm out.